weeks and days, we had always to consider our situation and to think what can we do, what do we have to do, stuff like this. And then so we were always looking all over in each league pretty much in Europe. And when I saw Ben, it was really interesting. It's obviously he plays for Preston Championship, gives him, shows that he's a very competitive player, so he knows how it is to play a lot of games and don't train a lot, play more than you train pretty much. We watched him in different games, obviously, and then you saw he's a really good footballer and is a smart football player and a player who knows how to defend. And when I was a second division player myself. And what we all dreamt of was playing in the first league, pretty much. And I'm pretty sure, well, I know Ben did that as well. And so now it's a big opportunity for both sides. So for us, getting a player who has experience, but still a lot of space for development, and for him, obviously, being involved in a really, really good football team. Not to say that Preston was not a good football team, but I think I don't say too much if you say it's slightly better, and so that means now for him, and I'm a big believer in opportunities and taking chances, and Ben sees it the same way, and so I'm really happy to have him around and to work together with him.
Ozan Kabak obviously comes with the recommendation of David Wagner as well, I understand. We understand he's got something of a reputation for maybe being a bit of a hothead. Is his temperament a concern at all?
No, and I have maybe to clarify that he's not here because David Wagner was his coach and Dave is my friend. Not at all. So when Dave was at Schalke and he's not there anymore, and we spoke obviously a lot about football, how we always do. We are both coaches, so we speak about football. And when he spoke about Ozan, he was always very, very positive. And now in the last few weeks, days or whatever, we didn't speak really because it was not necessary. Everybody knows everything about Ozan. So Ozan is 20 years old, plays already the third or fourth season in adult professional football, and had really tough times with his team. So that's how it is in football. You, as a single player, cannot make the difference. It's it looks from outside always like this. So, but he was even in the season when Stuttgart got relegated, he played a really good season. Things like these are possible. They are just not seen from the outside world too often. But when you are in football, you know that. That's the reason why Schalke signed him. And Schalke has a lot of problems in the moment in Germany, in German football, and nothing to do with Ozan. But then as a young player, you are again in this situation. So but he never lost the quality, of course not, and he's still a talent, but proved already a lot of things. And now we see that when he comes here in a really stable team, who's doing a lot of things really good, that it would help him and he can help then us. So that's the reason. And obviously our situation is really strange that we in the moment we are without our first four centre-half choices, which is really strange, and only one of them will come back with Fabinho, and he's actually a six in the next week or so, and so that's the situation. And so we needed players, because obviously we could play very well. When was it? The other day against West Ham and Tottenham in the second half when Nate and Hendo played together. But our problem is always now since months. If one more thing happens, then we don't know really what to do. Then we start struggling. And the solutions we found so far, they were good. But now we have again more options, and it's not perfect. That's the general transfer window is not my favorite window, because we signed the players yesterday and play tomorrow night. We will see if they are available or not. That's not a problem. But then we play 3 days later again. So it means in a position where team patterns are really important, that everybody knows what he's doing. Players come now in new. So. But I'm really looking forward to it, because now it's work under time pressure. That's how it is. We have solutions actually here, and we have now more options in the team. I'm really happy for it, and for both players it's a big chance, and for us as well. And that's what I really like about the situation.
And the injury you mentioned, Joel Matip, that must be a real disappointment for everybody.
It's I have not the right words for it. The things that happen now to the boys is incredible, and now the latest one with Joel is really it's a big blow for all of us, because you don't not only lose a player for months, you lose on the pitch. I mean, you lose as well the person in the dressing room for a while, because their surgery is probably necessary or were necessary so far, and then they're out for a while, and you are not that close in contact. So all these things, you don't need that in a moment when the world is anyway not in the best place. And then having these kind of things is really harsh, and it's really unlucky in that situation when you saw it, when with this challenge with Son was a really good challenge, and he played on unbelievable after the game when he came in half time. We all thought it's a little bit, and then you said, yeah, I will try it. Everyone we tried to strap him, and while we were strapping him, the ankle blew up, so was no chance then, obviously, and so it's absolutely not good. Nothing good to say about it. The only thing is we have kind of a time frame, and he will be back for pre-season, and that's great then. And then he had enough time that all the things then finally could settle, and had enough time to work on the specific things which will make him even stronger for the future then.
Terrific. Okay, Simon Crabtree, and then we go to Ian Kennedy, but Simon first.
Thanks, Jurgen. And just probably a brief injury update on everybody else, if I may. And just as far as Ben and Ozan and Kabak are concerned, how quickly can they be assimilated into your first team? Because obviously neither have Premier League experience, as you've said. So that's the story, really.
Yeah, but the good thing is it's football still. And they played in Germany football, and they played in Championship football. So that's now not the problem. But how I said, coming in the defense, a lot of... So 12 or 13 different centre half pairings, and that obviously then when you have them to, and then you that makes it more difficult for example for Nico and Kostas as well, because Kostas is new, Nico is still young, these kind of things, and you search for kind of stability in a team, and when you change that often, but we are obviously don't live in an idle world, and that means we have to be smart, we have to be quick, and we try everything to do that. There are different things we can do and help them, and that it goes faster, but we play obviously different to Preston, obviously different to Schalke, that's clear. So we'll need time, but we don't have a lot of time, so we will use the time we have in our hands and try our best. But so if they would have to start tomorrow night together, I think that would be not too cool, but we will give them a few more days.
And just before I ask one about Brighton, sorry, just the second part of that in terms of just general with your injuries, how's everybody else looking of coming back? Is it as it was?
Yeah, it's as it was.
Okay. And so as far as Brighton are concerned, they seem to be back on track just now, don't they, after that sticky patch without a win in the Premier League, and then 2 in the last 3. The last one against Spurs, probably hitting form just at the wrong time as far as you're concerned. But is it the sort of football that you like to watch as well?
Yeah, it is. And I cannot... I have not enough words to say how much I respect what Graham is doing there. And I don't understand it really. That's Premier League, unbelievable. The way they play is really good and unbelievable. So they have a clear idea, stuff like this, good players in the right positions. In the end, they lose games anyway. But you see with the points they have, that makes it really strange. But they stick to their idea, and I respect that a lot. And now against Tottenham, obviously it paid completely off. It was a deserved 3 points. Obviously they could have scored already earlier in that game, and controlled it then in the right moment. So they're just a football playing side. You don't see... I think it's probably fair to say that Brighton fights for staying in the league, so with the points they have, but it's really nice that they show you can fight for staying in the league with this kind of football as well. So I'm very often, not only because Adam Lallana is there now, but I try to see them as often as I can, and I know how good they are, and it will be a tough one. So it's they defend well and they attack especially well, and so we have to be ready for this game. So is it the right moment? I don't know. For us, it feels rather like a good moment. That Brighton is in a good moment now as well. I have no problem with that. In the end, you have to beat the team you face, and that's what we try.
Brilliant. Okay, we'll go to Ian Kennedy from the BBC, and then we'll go to James from TalkSport. Ian.
Hi, Jurgen.
Hi, Ian.
We've talked a bit about the defensive cover that you've now got. You've obviously always had more options further up the park. Did that make it easier to allow Takumi Minamino to go down to Southampton because you've got more options in those areas?
Yeah, of course, having options makes it. It's the only chance that you can give a player to another club. But we were active in this situation a little, not active. So Southampton asked him. It was not that we said no chance. So we thought about it, and Takumi is incredibly good player, and we didn't give him enough chances. That's the truth. That's for different reasons. And always, sometimes it was just the size because of our problems in the defense. We were not tall enough, and then Takumi on the pitch, and I think, okay, how can we do that then? Defending set pieces is a very important part of it. Sometimes it's not for the player, not too interesting. For journalists, probably not interesting, but it's in some moments even these kind of things make the difference. Why one player's playing and the other not. So now when Southampton came up, and there were not a lot of clubs where I thought it makes really sense to let him go, but Southampton makes a lot of sense. So he's there for 17 games now, I think, maybe 17, I think. In a situation Southampton is, I think if Takumi stays fit, he has a good chance to play 17 games, which helps then everybody, helps Southampton and helps us, because the only thing Takumi was lacking was a couple of games in a row, and that was difficult here. And I would have loved to keep him, just to have the option, stuff like this. But in the end, because Takumi is a long-term project, always was, we see really a lot of potential in Takumi. It makes absolute sense that he gets now the chance to play maybe 17 games, Premier League games, and then comes back in a completely different mindset, confidence level, all these kind of things. And so I hope it's a win-win situation.
And having brought the two centre-backs in, Jurgen, we've seen how well the players like Nat and Reece have done when they've come in. Do you have to, as a manager, kind of reassure them that they are still very much part of the ongoing squad and they can still play a part this season and beyond?
Yeah, I'm not sure if they think exactly like that. So for Reece, for example, it's different. So for Reece played super games for us. People forget immediately these kind of things, but we won with Reece as a centre half. We won at Bergamo, for example, played a really good game. Reece played in the home game against Tottenham. We won that game. He played a really good game. So they were really, really, really good games for both. And of course they have a future here. Of course they have a future, but for Reece, the problem is he didn't play often enough now to get kind of rhythm, so he needs to play football in his age. So it makes no sense to either play a few minutes or then sit on the bench for 2-3 games. So we can give him now the opportunity again to play football and improve and all these kind of things. So that's good. And the rest is an open race, if you want. So, the players who are here are actually a little bit have an advantage that they know what we are doing. But the new players come in, and I know they are full of ambitions and want to start immediately, and that's all good. So that helps us keep going. The last few weeks, it was always the last two men standing play centre half, pretty much, and the rest we build a team around that. So and now we have more options, and now we can watch training, and we have the training week. We have after City a full training week, which helps massively. And so we make then decisions like we always do usually in a football season, but we couldn't do in the last few weeks, and now we can do that again. So how is that? Nate and Hendo worked, that looked really good. Fabinho is not too far away, so he can play the position obviously, but we have now options again, and with all the games coming up, that was the thing we had to make sure that we have these options. And then it's always about the players to work for a chance and to use the chance. That's how it is.
Okay, James from TalkSport, then Carl Markham from Press Association. James.
Jurgen, what is it that you've seen in Ozan and Ben that makes you think that they can make an immediate impact this season for you?
Sorry, James, but I thought I answered that question already. I said might have been the first question, not? Or am I dreaming and thought all that stuff? Possible as well. I said it already. They both have experience on their level. They played a lot of games in adult football. Yes, Ozan is pretty young, but that's makes it really special because he had this experience, and with David and with Ben it's the same. slightly older, different pathway. But I like that. That's football. It's not. You don't need to watch a Hollywood movie to see these kind of stories. In football, it's possible as well. Yesterday at Preston, today at Liverpool. So that's a nice story already. And now I can't wait to start working with the boys, because again, I'm a big fan of chances and giving opportunities and giving chances, and so this is an absolute chance for the club, for us as a team, and for the boys as well, and that's great. And now let's go for it, and whatever they did so far was good enough that we wanted to have them. From now on, we expect more. Easy as that. That's how it is, because together with us, each single player has to make the team better. That's how we always saw it. That's how we always did it, and that helps the team. And the team helps then the players to flourish. And that's exactly what we expect with the two boys as well.
Brilliant. Okay, then we'll go to Neil Jones, and then we'll finish with Hideo. Neil.
Hi, Jurgen, you okay?
Hello.
Yeah. I wanted to ask about Thiago. You've had obviously a month of him fit and available and getting a run of games, and how pleased have you been with the way he's settled in and the impact he's made in the side?
Good, really good. Of course, we was far from being perfect, the situation. So with him coming in, being injured pretty early and stuff like this, that's all not really good, but not important anymore. And then coming in, and we had to learn. He had to learn how do we play. We had to learn how he is playing without changing everything. You're not giving Thiago. So you buy Thiago Alcantara from Bayern and tell him, okay, nice, but for now you do this different. So it's a job, and that usually you need time for that it settles. The things find together kind of naturally without changing too much, just making it better by using the different skill sets. And it was absolutely okay, but then we thought it helps, because think again, what did he do at Bayern? Which role did he play there? Yes, it was 6, but it was more a double 6 and these kind of things. And so we decided to adapt his position a little bit. It worked out pretty well. That gives us stability, gives him stability. We can use his football skills, which are obviously outstanding. And really good.
Okay. And then we'll go to Carl Markham, sorry, which I forgot, and then we'll go to Hideo. Carl.
Hey, Jurgen.
Hi, Carl.
Just a quick one from me. I was wondering, are you planning to add Virgil van Dijk to your updated Premier League squad this week, which has to be submitted?
He's already on the Premier League squad. I don't know.
I think he was in the Premier League squad always. Of course, he played Premier League.
Yeah.
So we don't
He's in the Champions League. I thought you took him out when he got injured. He had to submit it because it was late to submission.
Yeah. Possible, Carl. Well, I'll come back to you on that, Carl, because that's admin. That'll be done in the next 24 hours, I think, or in the next few hours after the window. Isn't it?
Okay. Look, whatever happens, I think we have space for Virgil on the Champions League list. I think he was on the Premier League list. So nobody told me that I have to change something with that. If we have space in the Champions League list, then Virgil will be on the list. That's how it is. But
I think he's on the Champions League list. Not
so in the moment, it's not like I don't know where these things are coming from. Nobody really, no doctor, nobody really told me there's a chance for Virgil to play in this season again. I don't want to say that's absolutely impossible, but it's not likely. It's not likely. So and that's, we don't have to discuss these things really. So I said, if we have space, we will put them all on. Even when all the medical people tell us there's no chance, so we put them on because we believe in miracles from time to time. But if there's no place, then we have to consider these kind of things and say, oh, the chance is not too big, so we have to make the decision. But if they are on the list, then it's only because we hope for nearly a miracle. That's it.
Okay, and then we'll finish with Hideo. There we go. Yes.
Hi again.
Hi. I see you probably for the last time for 17 games, eh? You move now to Southampton.
Well, just to follow up on your comments on Minamino, just what went wrong for him in the past month or so? Because looking out from the outside, it looked like he suddenly lost his place and went down the pecking order. And also, what he needs to do at Southampton to get back into the Liverpool team next season.
He just has to enjoy football again there. So that's what he did here. He's an outstanding professional and really a top talent, really good player. So it's all good. But then we have a really good squad, and we struggle a lot, but never in the offensive part, not really in the offensive part of the pitch. And then you need to. My job is to make decisions on the based on what I imagine what could be the outcome in the game. And so, for example, with the people who were fighting with him for the place were in really good shape. Shaqiri, when he came back, showed up extremely. Then with Divock, we all know what Divock did for us in the past. But then sometimes it's just the size which makes it, how I said before, it can make a difference. And these are kind of things. And so it worked not often enough out for Taki that he could start a game or come on. And that's 100% my fault as well. But I think we both think now, Taki and I, we think both that we can sort that by playing him 17 times if possible in the Premier League, and then he doesn't have to change anything. He doesn't have to improve in anything. He just have to play football and to gain rhythm and confidence in that moment, and then he will be fine.